Good morning, good morning, good morning. The moves are happening again. This is the advantage of playing the Thursday game. The teams that are really competitive and want to make some moves, they start making those moves. You will see the Bears make some moves on the other side before Tuesday. You'll see some of our players traded in a similar fashion to this one. Let me move me off of here, and let's get down to Chris Williams. I was looking at the Browns as an option for us to be able to trade with, but I was looking at Maurice Hurst. If you guys remember my mock drafts in January, Maurice Hurst was one of the players that I thought we would sign as a free agent. He didn't end up re-signing with the Cleveland. He went somewhere else. I don't remember where right now, but not the point. I was really high on Maurice Hurst, but looking at Chris Williams, this isn't a needle mover move, but it is a solid move. We'll show you why. So what the Bears get is Chris Williams and a 7th-round pick, and what we're giving up is a 6th-round pick. So it's a pick swap for a player that probably wasn't going to make their roster. High upside player, in my opinion, on a 1-year, $795,000 league minimum contract. So very low risk here, but high upside. So according to Dan Weeder, the Bears have finalized a trade with the Cleveland Browns to acquire 5th-year defensive tackle Chris Williams. They're sending a 6th-round pick from the Chase Claypool trade to Cleveland in exchange for Williams and a 2025 7th-rounder. That was our pick from Miami. Same with Kevin Fishbane down there. But he says Williams was with Matt Eberflus in Indianapolis, had 2 sacks and 4 quarterback hits for Cleveland this preseason. And, of course, the guys at CHGO made this little graphic, so props to them right there for that, and that's the graphic for him. So here is what you need to know about Chris Williams. 6'2", 302 pounds, defensive interior. They have him listed an edge at different places. He can switch in and out, and we know how the Bears like those guys that are interchangeable, that can be able to play 2 different spots. But 302 pounds will definitely hold his own in the middle with the Colts, and then he went to the Chiefs, and then was cut by them, and then picked up by the Browns, was with them. And now signed a future reserve contract, and then was with them for the preseason. This is the preseason this year down below. What you need to notice is right in the middle, on the far right side, the PRP and the win percentage. That's what I show a lot of. That's the pressures per play. It's PFF's. It's not the same as how I gauge it, but you see, if you look across there, 21 pass rush opportunities and 4 pressures. That's 1 in every 5 this preseason. I get it. It's the preseason. Doesn't mean everything. But that is good. That's what you like to see. And you see an 87.4 PFF grade in game number 1 against the Packers. And so we like to see someone hitting up on the Packers too. So that's nice. And then 2 sacks against Minnesota. So everything looks good there. I like the pressures. I like that looks like a guy who can get after the ball from the interior. Now he shows he played from the edge as well. So it's from both positions. But 14.3 and 9.5% pass rush win rate, those are both good things. Well, how does that compare against our own defensive interior guys this preseason? And again, this is preseason, so Jervon Dexter, Zach Pickens, they're going to make the roster, and Andrew Billings. This doesn't mean everything for the preseason, but you're kind of gauging this to see why we picked him up. Byron Cowart did well. You see his 83.2 PFF grade. This is going to make it interesting to see what happens with Byron Cowart. He had an 11.1 pass rush win rate, but very few pressures, 4.2 pressures. And the Bears clearly value those guys that can get after it and get the sacks. So this is obviously something they were looking at. This is a guy who got 2 quarterback hits and 2 additional sacks, so hit the quarterback 4 times on only 21 pass rush opportunities. And someone that can be moved in and out, just like DeMarcus Walker, that they can move him in at edge or move him out at edge, move him in at defensive interior. I don't see him doing a lot of that. I think this is really just a depth piece, probably the 53rd man on the roster. May not even dress for that many games. As we know, not all 53 dress for the games. But to have a depth piece where if something happens to Jervon Dexter, Zach Pickens, they may make an additional move if something happens to Jervon Dexter. But if something happens to Zach Pickens or one of these guys, this is a guy that's on your 53-man roster that you feel good bringing into the game to be able to get an opportunity. I don't think they would run it long with him if he wasn't playing well, but that's exactly what this is. It's a pick swap for 6th and 7th. Not a bad move in my opinion. So not the C Williams, not the Connor Williams we all wanted, and he's definitely not Caleb Williams, but Chris Williams, solid pickup, defensive tackle. I like this one. It's not a needle mover. We want the big home run splash. I think we're all looking for that. We want that. We want the home run splash. We're not going to get all of those, and I do expect some of these trades just like this one, 6 for 7 swap or something to that nature for us to be able to get some additional players or to trade some of our players away. This is what you're going to see right now is these type of moves to solidify the roster. The Dan Feeney type of trades from last year, and now the Darrell Taylor and the Chris Williams trades this year. This is what you're going to see right now is solidifying this roster with guys they liked, guys they saw, and guys with potential to be able to impact this team and give us some depth. So with that, let me know what you guys think. Is this a good move on the Bears' part? With that pass rush percentage and the win percentage, I like this one just because I'm a stats nerdy dude like that. That's what I like to see. I didn't see it from Deshaun Mallory. I didn't see it from Keith Randolph at all. Zach Pickens isn't moving the needle for me yet. And hey, guys, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Zach Pickens may not even make this roster at this point. He got a lot of opportunities. 47. His PFF grade was 56.5, and he 3.4 and 6.8 PRP and win percentage in the preseason against backups. That doesn't scream someone who's going to make the roster. I still have him making the roster. You'll see that when I come out with my 53-man roster prediction. But he's got to really have a big year, and I don't think Zach Pickens is really playing his part yet. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And until next time, claws up, bear down, and da bears.